Good morning, South Middle School. Today is day 2 of the new school year. Congratulations on making it through day 1, sort of a soft open to the school year, and then that was our first day of getting back into school, doing a bunch of asynchronous activities with your teams, and getting to see who was in your homeroom. Today we will continue with orientation activities, and it will be our first day of synchronous live online classes. So we get the next challenge ahead of us. And with that in mind, let's turn back to our daily tradition. Those who are interested are welcome to rise. And please recite with me the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now a moment of silence. Thank you very much. So I want to start today by thinking about a lot of the planning that has gone into getting ready for opening the school building and starting the school year. So for those students who are returning in person, there's been a lot of work done around the building to make sure that everything is ready for you and safe. And there are going to be tours available later today between the hours of 2 and 5. If you're interested in coming by, you'll have a chance to walk through the building and see the precautions that are put up and some of the major landmarks within the building, and also get a chance to see some of the classrooms that are set up and ready for in-person students to return. And for those students in the remote academy, the school building has been spent the summer getting spruced up and ready for teachers to be recording live lessons, and then also even broadcasting live lessons on the daily basis to the remote students. So South has been dealing with a lot of work, trying to make sure that everything is ready and ready to go. And so I do want to take this opportunity to give a huge shout out to our custodians. Mr. Thomas is the senior custodian, and Mr. Harrigan and Mr. Norris are the junior custodians who work every night to make sure that the building is sanitized and ready to go for the next day. And they're also all three of them working together every day, planning to work together every day in the coming school year to make sure that everything is supplied, everything is ready to go, and all students are taken care of when they're in the building. All staff members are taken care of so that they can continue to broadcast live lessons to those students who are at home. So thank you very much, Mr. Thomas, Mr. Harrigan, and Mr. Norris. This morning we are starting some live classes, synchronous classes. This is going to be the next step as we sort of march our way into the hybrid learning program, getting folks introduced to Google Meet and starting to have some Google Meets. Your teachers are also planning a lot of activities that will continue to discuss what you can expect for the school year, what's expected from you for the school year, and also to start to use some of these technologies that you will be using for your academic studies going forward. As you know, we started some of that process yesterday. We were really focused on getting folks into Google Classroom. How do you post assignments? How do you access your post assignments? How do you submit assignments? And then looking at some of the software that we'll be using to do that, while also getting to know the teachers that will be working on your team and the teachers that are working throughout the building, and thinking ahead to some of the planning for the year. So it's been a few days. There were some technological difficulties all week long. I know the Google servers have been struggling. I know Mr. Rainey has been struggling to keep up with the demands of this whole new way of doing school. And I just have to say, as much as some of these projects have been really challenging, some of the most challenging work that we do in our lives is often sometimes the most rewarding. And I really appreciate the effort that the student body was making yesterday in engaging in your classes. After 6 months of being out of school, I know that it was challenging in many ways to start to get back into school. And I know that even today, when you start thinking about some of these live classes, that presents some sort of challenge, some challenges to people. And so I just really have to say congratulations to all of you who are making that effort today to get engaged back into the live school experience. The challenges that we face are often the things that lead to some of the most rewarding experiences in our lives. Um, and so just bear that in mind. Sometimes as we go through these things, there are huge frustrations, there are the feeling of setbacks, and these experiences are things that we can stop and reflect on and learn from and grow through. You become a better person when you've made some mistakes if you take the time to think about what led to that and different opportunities that you have to prevent that from happening again, or something similar happening again, to make yourself a more effective person and a more successful person going forward. And when you grow in that way from your own effort to put in your best effort in the first place, but then also to think about ways that it could be done better or differently and to reflect in that way, those are the opportunities that you need to seek out in your life so that you are always growing. And I know that right now you're looking ahead to a whole school year of a lot of growth. We're all going to be going through some new learning experiences, new ways of learning, but also just the process itself is going to be a learning experience in a lot of ways. And so I really am pleased with the effort that everyone's been putting in so far. I'm really proud of the effort that I'm seeing from students and from teachers, and everyone's really pushing themselves and taking it with a really good high spirit, and sort of acknowledging that there's going to be bumps along the way, but um, you know, these are the sort of experiences that we're going to learn a lot from and be able to carry some new problem solving skills into your future life. And if we stick together during this time, I really think that that's going to be the best way to grow through this and actually to grow closer as a community as we move through these challenges. So personally, I'm glad to be traveling with all of you during this time. As we think about moving into our online classes, I do want to go over some of the rules and expectations so that when you start getting into your Google Meets today, there are no surprises. All right, so I'm going to open up the a document here, which was posted last night too for people to review, and that is the community guidelines. All right, so we have some community guidelines here. These will apply to the whole school, and then there may be some that are adapted for the specific teams, and your teachers will go over all of this with you. But we've got guidelines for the online learning community, like you'll be engaging in your Google Meets this morning. And then when you're participating in asynchronous learning, there's guidelines for that. And then for those who will be doing in-person instruction, there are classroom community guidelines as well. So your team of teachers will go over all of those that apply separately. But before we started getting into Google Meets this morning, I did want to just briefly review the online learning community guidelines so that everyone knows exactly what's expected. All right, so first, your teacher will be the first person in the Google Meet session. If you try to join a meet and you're not able to get in, it's probably just because the teacher hasn't started it yet. So just be patient and wait. Once they open it up, you'll be able to pop right in. We want to learn with you, right? So students have to hold up your end of the bargain by joining on time and staying engaged with the class until the teacher dismisses you. We do want to hear everybody clearly. So unless you're asking a question, responding, or commenting, please make sure that your microphone is muted, and that'll just cut off any background noise. We want to see you. We've missed you during this time that school has been closed. So please be prepared to have your camera on if that's a comfortable space for you. If you have any concerns about that, you can talk to your teacher, your guidance counselor. But other than that, there may be times in the lesson when a teacher asks you to shut off the camera. And that might be, sometimes it actually helps speed up the computers, makes the meet a little bit more stable. So they might ask you to do that. It might just be part of their the lesson routine. We want you to be focused on your learning. The time that we have together is precious, so we don't want to waste any of it. So do please come prepared, be prepared with any materials you'll need, and then try to find a quiet spot away from any distractions where it's going to be easiest for you to learn. Now, I understand that's going to be, a little bit different in different households and different days, right? I know in the Rainey house, it's not always easy to find a quiet spot, but do the best you can so that you're able to stay focused on your learning while you've got the Google Meet going on. And honestly, probably the most important part of that is keep your phone put away. It's definitely going to be a distraction. So personally, I would leave it in the other room so that you won't be distracted by that. All right, and then the last rule here is we want everyone to feel welcome and safe. And I always put that one at the bottom because I feel like it serves as the foundation to everything else, right? It's the most important, the core belief that everything else rests upon is treating each other with respect, right? And so that means treating your teachers with respect, treating your classmates with respect. But the other person that I always think about, want to make sure that you're thinking deserves respect is yourself, right? You're required to be part of the classroom, you're required to participate in school, but as long as you are spending the time here, respect yourself enough to make the most of this opportunity. You always have a chance to learn and to grow, to express yourself. So, you have to be there. Take advantage of this chance. Show yourself the respect to push yourself and to really try to grow as a person during this time. So, with these guidelines in mind, I think we are going to be set up for a successful school year. And I look forward to hearing from your teachers and from you, the students, about how everything goes with your first day of online live learning in Google Meet. All right, so now we have a clear set of expectations. We know exactly what we're going to be expecting from one another and what we can rely on one another for during this time. So without further ado, we'll get into your daily activities. Before we move on from that, I do want to give one special birthday shout out. There's actually no students that have a birthday on September 17th, but we do have one staff member, so happy birthday to Mrs. Rushton. Happy birthday. And then I want to take advantage of this opportunity to give some birthday shout outs to folks who had birthdays earlier in the week. On Monday, September 14th, there were 3 birthdays. Colvin Daly, happy birthday. Fiona Joyce, happy birthday. And happy birthday also to Joseph McDonald. And then on Tuesday, the 15th, the day before school, we had 3 people who were celebrating their birthdays, their last day of summer freedom. Shannon Dolly, happy birthday. And happy birthday also to Noah Lee and Karina Liu, happy birthday. So those are some great birthday wishes for this week. And with that high spirit, we'll head off into the day. Remember, today and every day, to be good to yourself, take care of each other, and take care of your school.